Don't need a whole lot of it. Don't need to glob it on there big, thick, like it's gonna droop all over the place, as you would say, or whatever. Hey, I'm country as hell. Y'all don't like it, I don't give a shit.
All right, YouTube, check this out, man. If y'all are watching this video and you do not see subscribe by my channel name, I need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I'm about to start giving y'all some more content that's aimed towards everyday things as far as cars go. So today, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a nice little video of me and one of my co-workers swapping out my rotors. Before anybody questions anything, he's a certified mechanic. He's just in the Army. So he's gonna give y'all some pointers, just little tips and jewels of when you go about swapping out your rotors. Stay tuned. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below on what you thought about the video, because that helps me make better videos for y'all in the future. So with that said, I'm not going to waste no more of your time, because time is precious. Swipe.
Fucker. There you go. Don't be afraid to put some ass in it.
Hey brother, I'm running bad back and a bad shoulder. If I can do it.
You can do it, anybody can.
Exactly. And this motherfucker tight as a bitch. Nope. Need a full rotation, man.
All for those back bolts at 85 foot-pounds of torque. You're gonna struggle a little to get them broke loose.
Coming though. I need to clean the undercarriage, man. I'm seeing that now. Damn, still.
Yeah.
It's fucking loose as shit though.
Bolt's about 1.5 inches long.
Holy fuck.
You're good here, man. Keep going.
Boy, this shit is a fucking workout, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, the life of a mechanic, man. You reach muscle failure on a lot of shit. All right, brake mount is off.
Damn.
Bring your old brake pads off with it. Shaking towards the outside of it, or inside, either way.
Bitches look bad.
There you go, keep rocking.
Ah, damn. You gotta say what's up for YouTube, man.
What up, everybody?
Hey, this is your fucking go-to mechanic if you're in the Springs, by the way.
Yeah,
So,
basically with this car here, park brake system is built in different from the actual brake caliper itself. If you have a brake caliper like this, you see there's no little slots in it. You don't really have to go to the auto shop, auto store, rent that little tool to compress the caliper. Everything is built into the back here.
yep.
So we've already done the tear down, starting to reinstall here.
This shit went a lot quicker this time, by the way.
Yep, make sure everything's
A
set
lot
nice
quicker.
and pretty. Your brake caliper mount bolts here for your hardware system sitting right there. 85 foot-pounds of torque is what the actual manual calls for on these.
switch it to me, yo. So if y'all don't fucking know, that is super goddamn important. Cause mine was not torqued to that. I actually had it higher, but that's the difference between fucking cruising down the road, flying and racing versus your goddamn tire popping off. So something to remember. If you don't know
your actual your torque spec for your lug nuts, I suggest you look in your manual, or like I did before I started this job, I looked it up the other night. Actual torque specs for the lug nuts are at 100 foot-pounds of torque. Don't seem like a whole lot, but when you're actually doing this work and you're doing it for somebody other than yourself, make sure you're doing this by the book. You just don't go in here and just half-ass the job because somebody else's family riding in the car.
That's a good point.
You don't want to be a YouTube mechanic.
Hey, that's me, man. But I'm good at it though. So that's the torque wrench.
Pick them up at any auto parts store. I mean, if you want to go cheap, you can go to Harbor Freight, pick up a cheap one, which is what I'm using here. I mean, it's not a very expensive tool. But
and just so I'm sure, so you're torquing down the actual, is it the mounting bolt?
Yes, the actual mounting bolt for the brake hardware.
Okay. So disclaimer, I wouldn't have looked none of this shit up. I was just telling him that I wouldn't have did it, but it's fucking good to know, man. It's safe. It all comes down to safety. So for those that are thinking about fucking doing this, I don't recommend you go to a shop. Hell, watch this video and you'll learn how to do it your goddamn self, actually, and save like fucking hundreds of bucks in the process. So I thought I'd
bring them over. I thought I did, man.
Oh, no, I didn't.
No.
Don't mind the alcohol. New brakes. Open them
up. New brakes, and for the old ones, you can use a simple little tool like this. It's like 15, 16 bucks at O'Reilly's or AutoZone. You just put your old brake pad on there and just start screwing it in. As you're screwing it in, what you're doing is you're actually forcing your brake piston in so you have enough room for your new brake pads to fit on here, because if not, you're going to be sitting here looking like a dumbass when you're trying to do this work for somebody else and can't get the brake caliper back on. Like I said, a little cheap tool. All it is just a plate, a screw.
Dude, I've seen some crazy.
Using an old brake pad just to put up against the piston. Don't worry about if you see a little bit of this right here, the actual boot popping out. Is the only thing that is it's just the back pressure behind that, pushing that out.
So this is just mounting the actual caliper back up.
And with mounting any of your hardware like this, especially your brake mounting hardware, your caliper, it's always a good idea to have some of this. You know, a little Loctite goes a long way. You don't have to coat your bolt, just a little bit on the tip of it. It'll actually work itself into the threads. Does its job. It'll hold the brake, it'll hold the bolts in place, any vibration or anything like that. For your wheel studs,
I was about to ask you, so what is this right here?
This right here is what's called anti-seize. This will actually keep your lug nuts from seizing up on your wheel studs. Just a little light coat, don't need a whole lot of it. Don't need to glob it on there big, thick, like it's gonna droop all over the place, as you would say, or whatever. Hey, I'm country as hell. Y'all don't like it, I don't give a shit. But
oh shit, hold on, I'm about to catch that because it is about to drip.
Where? Right there?
Yep.
It's okay.
I was about to grab it.
Take that.
Get a little brush.
Put it on there. Just a little bit, just a long way. And like I was saying, I actually went online to the Chrysler 300S forums, looked up his torque specs for his lug nuts. At 100 foot-pounds of torque, a little bit of anti-seize. You're really not going to hurt yourself if you put a little bit more torque on it. I just would not go excessively.
Like I did. Like I fucking did.
These wheel studs, they will stretch, they will bow out over time. So that's why I say try to stay within your torque limits.
Hence
See right there,
hence the goddamn torque wrench, people.
100 foot-pounds of torque. You zero out right on it. If you want to go a couple of pounds over, it really doesn't matter. Just don't He-Man this, because putting too much torque on it causes these to stretch over time. They break. Makes it very hard to get the lug nuts on and off. Lug nuts will seize if you don't use any of this. Think about preventive maintenance a little bit further down the road than a day or so.
That's good information.
And he decided to bring his car to me. You know, I cut the shop's throat by like $600.
Yep.
Most shops for brakes, you can't take and provide your own brakes to them. They want you to buy theirs. The rotors, most of the time, if you have performance rotors like these drilled rotors here, drilled in slot, they will install them from the customer instead of you buying them from them. But for brakes and rotors all the way around, most shops $700-800.
And that's on the cheap end.
And that's the cheap side. I'm actually cutting him a hell of a deal. He's a good friend of mine, doing this entire job for him. Brakes.
We're not
rotors.
going to discuss how much. But beer was involved.
Very discounted price.